Hey, good morning, everybody. 79 degrees out there. This is the reading that I'm getting off of my system here. It's actually a little cooler than that at the airport, so don't see that and think, well, it's going to, warm up from this point. We're really not going to warm up much today. In fact, my forecast high is right around 79, so yeah, not going to move much. It is cloudy out there. We have some light rain in the area, but so far, nothing too crazy. Had those flood warnings last night up in Grant and Wynn Parish, 76 over 66 in Natchitoches. That's more like it, but it's not a good day to be on the water. We have fog out there, low clouds, just a nasty kind of Seattle feel to things today. But hey, Seattle can be nice if you're looking for some cooler weather every once in a while. Here goes your rain and thunderstorm activity. You can see that system still. I mean, we've been dealing with this thing since I think the day I left for North Carolina, which was last Wednesday. So it's been a while. And that thing continues. And what is actually going to happen? They've declared this an invest. So they're running tropical models on it. And it's kind of crazy here because this thing's going to drop to the south, it looks like. So it's not going away. And then we have that other wave coming over. And it's possible we see those two kind of team up and we see something form eventually later on in the forecast. But that thing continues to churn down there and is going to kind of drop off toward the south. So that's what's going to happen there. Here's what's happening here. Flood warnings down southeast of New Iberia between there and Homa, probably Morgan City included in that. And rain, very heavy rain, is going to continue to our southeast today. That's where the worst of this has been, and it looks like that's where it's going to continue. Here is your look at the satellite that's continuing to show this area that, has a 10% chance of development. It's not impossible that this thing attains tropical characteristics, but for our purposes, we saw the rain. Now that front's coming in from the north, you can see that up there heading through Kansas and Oklahoma. This thing's going to shove everything off toward the east, and we're going to see that drier, much more favorable air for my life, and I think all of y'all's as well. There's a little coastal trough going on. Here's your wind gusts. Not much, a little stronger down south. This is that illustration showing that weak surface low that is now south of Houston, Galveston, that area. Remember, yesterday it was right up over that area, so it's drifted kind of south, very elongated circulation, so this has a long way to go if it wants to become something tropical. And here are your rain totals. This is just the past 2 days, so this does not include anything we saw last week or anything like that. This is pretty excessive in most areas. Looks like St. Landry Parish might have gotten off fairly easy, but a widespread 2 to 5 inch rainfall total for most areas in central Louisiana. Heavier totals down south. That's why we have those flood warnings toward Homa, where they saw well over 6 inches on the radar estimates. Anywhere you see yellow, 2 inches. If you see the red, you're getting more like toward 4. And if you see the pink, 6+ inches of rain. So down there in the marshes, quite wet, and we have been quite wet up this way as well. Time to talk about Igloo Roofing, 318-731-3088. Give them a call. They've got you covered. You know that already. I talked to Jason yesterday, and we're discussing ways we can make you buy even more roofs. I think my goal is if you buy a roof, then maybe a week later, buy another one. It helps everyone. I'm kidding. I don't know what to say about these things. I just know that Igloo Roofing is awesome, and I like to mention them. So here you go, mid-70s, upper 70s, your future temps. And as we click through, you see there's not much movement. Mid to upper 70s for highs today. About 78, 79 degrees. Overnight tonight, now that drier air starts to sneak in, I think we get down to the upper 60s. This is nothing compared to where we're going. Here's your day planner, finally. Showers and thunderstorms, probably more like showers. I thought the icon was just showers. I don't think it's going to thunder much up here today, but I think some rain is likely. And although the rain is likely, I think the heaviest of that is going to stay to our southeast. You can see on the back side of things, we do get some of that rain to kind of pinwheel back through Faraday, Alexandria, Leesville, even up toward Natchitoches. We've already seen some light totals up that way, and then that heavier stuff staying down toward New Orleans. So if you are traveling down for a New Orleans weekend, it looks like you will see a lot of rain, and there is a flood risk. There's a moderate risk for flash flooding from Baton Rouge through New Orleans down to Homa. If you are traveling that way, you'll want to check ahead because there could be some impassable roadways, things like that. But the severe threat is really out of here for this one, so we're not really worried about that. So that's what we're looking at now. Now, looking into the future, these are the rainfall totals that they include today, but most of this is actually for next week. As this system that I was talking about, we've got the one, actually, I think in the show I'm going to be hitting this a little harder, so we'll hold off for just a second. Just let me tell you, this rain right here, this is not all falling today, tomorrow, anything like that. The weekend still looks great, but we have our system that is out over the Caribbean. This is moving in toward like the Yucatan Peninsula right here. There's not much you can see. It's pretty incoherent, not seeing a ton there, but there's your other system up here. This thing supposed to drop down to the south. That's the new kind of forecast that we're looking at here. And then this other one here that comes across the Yucatan, it comes out here. So we're going to have an area of lower pressure, and then eventually it looks like we get another system that's going to kind of draw this all toward the north, and that's going to bring us more rainfall. Now, if this gets a name or not, we're going to get a lot of rain. I don't think this becomes something crazy strong. In fact, we've seen that trend away from that over the last few days, but that means we'll see more rain right as we dry out. So I know a lot of farmers are looking at this and it's like, okay, cool. We've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe part of Tuesday. So right as things dry out, right as the pastures start to look good, then it starts raining again. So that is going to be a problem. I don't know how they deal with it. I would go nuts if I depended on the weather, especially in Louisiana. Here we are spanning the globe, showing those low chances for tropical development. And these are basically going to kind of join forces from what I think. And that doesn't mean we're going to see some big super system. And I hesitate to even say something like that because that's how weird posts start with the whole Laura Marco thing from 4 years ago and people get confused. But I do think we see the lower pressures, we see the moisture all kind of pool down here over the southern Gulf of Mexico, and then that all comes up toward the north. So it's going to rain. Rain chances are coming up in the 7-day forecast, and this is what it looks like. There we go. High rain chances today, low amounts though. Tomorrow, pretty dry. Sunday looks great. Monday looks great. Tuesday, we start to reintroduce those rain chances. But look at this now. Nothing. Yes, we have the 50s. I need to talk about that. So Tom, he went to 61 for Sunday morning. That's okay. We can deal with that, of course. 59 degrees Monday morning. But then look at this. We don't see 90. I mean, apart from maybe a thermometer or two hitting 90 on Monday, I don't think we see 90 for the next week. And really in the next 10 days, I don't see that. So we're getting into mid-September on this. No 90s. Yeah, we're going to hit it again, but I mean, this is great. Last year at this time, we were in the mid-90s. We'd actually kind of broken the spell. I believe it was on the 7th was when we had our last day of like 105, and then we started to cool things off a bit, but it was still really hot. So to see 70s and 80s on a 7-day forecast is awesome stuff. So yes, I am very pleased with that. I don't like the hot weather. I don't think you do either. You don't like 105. Above normal temps or near, so upper 80s, something like that as we get into the middle of the month, and then the rain probably returns to normal after we get this next slug out of here. I'm sure some of you saw this because I'm done talking about weather, so you can leave if you just want to not hear me babble. But I was out in Avoyelles Parish yesterday, the Council on Aging and Public Transit. I pulled it up so I didn't screw that up. And it was a fundraiser for those folks, and you know, I like doing stuff like that, and it was nice to get out there and get arrested and it be non-controversial and fun. But I also got a new coffee mug from 97.7 The Cajun. It was funny because I got arrested. I paid my own bail because, you know, I know people in Avoyelles, but it's not like I know everyone. So I didn't know. I had to come prepared. So I paid my own bail, got out, and I'm walking out thinking, okay, I'm going to leave. And they just handed me a microphone. And I was like, oh, I'm on the radio now. So I was talking to the folks at 97.7 because I will talk to anyone with a radio tower because I'm like, camera, that'd be a good thing to put up there. I don't know. We'll see. That would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm out of here. I am going to come back on tomorrow morning. We'll talk, late morning. You know how Saturdays go. It's omelet day, so we're going to be making that. Kristen and I are going to do that, have a nice, good breakfast. I'll come on probably around 10, something like that, and we will talk about the weather, and we will just brag about how beautiful the weekend is, and then we'll deal with that rain later on into the future. The one thing I didn't mention, I don't see a big severe threat with what we'll deal with next week. It looks more like what we've had here, just some tropical rain showers, heavy rain totals, which we don't need that, but we certainly don't need any severe stuff to go along with it. So have a wonderful Friday. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a good weekend.